You belong here. Next to me, about to jump into the sea on an army coast steering expedition. What's your gut saying? Walk away from the edge? Or jump in and join a team that'll be by your side for life? Still listening? You belong here. Army, recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
Acast recommends.
Hello everyone, Pete here from the Football Ramble, the world's original football podcast. We're bringing our new series, Games Gone, to Amazon Music. Every month you can hear an exclusive bonus episode of the Football Ramble on Amazon Music, where we celebrate some of the biggest names, matches and moments from football history. Listen to monthly bonus episodes exclusively on Amazon Music and enjoy ad-free listening on Amazon Music for all episodes of Football Ramble with your Prime membership.
Acast powers the world's top podcasts, including
Off Menu, the Adam Buxton podcast.
and the show you're listening to right now.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
A General Hospital fan podcast. Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for November 11th through 15th, 2024. We are recording on Saturday night. And neither of us have had a drink. Oh, I don't know if you have. You said you went out to dinner.
I have not.
Okay.
I didn't go out to dinner. I got food to go. And then I didn't normally eat. That's why I needed the extra hour, was because we went to Home Depot, and right by Home Depot is a Charlie's cheesesteak, and the one by us has not opened yet. The one by us has not opened. No. But the Charlie cheesesteak in North for Sales is right there. And so Brian was like, I want cheesesteak. And I was like, okay, but now I can't eat this in the car. Like, I'll make a disaster. And so now I have to push back recording by an hour because I have to eat. So
cool. So how was it?
It was delicious. Have you never had?
I'm excited for the one that's okay. So everyone, we do not have this around here. Charlie's is relatively new. I know that the one in North for Sales has been here for like a year.
New. It is not new. It is not new.
In this area.
It is not. It has been in the Monroeville Mall for like 25 years.
Okay, well, I graduated high school 25 years ago, and it was probably a few years before that I was hanging out in the mall.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it's older than that. Now I have to look it up, because I remember being in high school and my sister telling me that you had to have their ultimate fries that are French fries with cheese, ranch, and bacon on them, and they were freaking amazing. And I had never gone there.
Cheese. Okay, so the standalone restaurant is relatively new?
Yes, the standalone, as far as I know. Yes.
Okay, so I'm not entirely wrong.
Go ahead. Look, now you have to look up Monroeville Mall. I need to know this.
Monroeville Mall. Anyway, the point of that was, if you have had it for a long time, we just got it. Kind of like Raising Cane's. Like, we just got that recently.
We did just get that. I still have not eaten there. I've had like a bite of something from Emily's.
I get that when I'm in Ohio, and like when we drive through and everything. Anytime we see one, I'm like, I need to go there.
No, you need to eat Donato's pizza when you're in Ohio.
Red Robin has Donato's pizza.
I know it does, but it's still not as good as the real Donato's.
Okay.
Welcome to our food podcast. We suddenly changed.
It doesn't say how long it's been at the mall. It says that in 1986, Charlie Cheesesteaks redefined the cheesesteak, but I think that means when the company
opened,
started, not when.
I'm going to research. I'm going to find this out.
Find out the Monroeville Mall food court history. You know what? There's that Memories of Monroeville on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
For it. Oh, Memories of Monroeville. Here's a diagram of the Monroeville food court mall from 1991. Hold on.
It's in the corner by the bathrooms. Like, you come down the escalators and you make a right to go to the bathroom. It's right there.
It was not there in 1991.
They have a Facebook page. I wonder if they tell me how long they've been there.
By the way, everybody, Minerva Mall is the location for the Night of the Living Dead. Was that it?
Yeah.
So there, we just tied it into something else.
There we go.
All right.
Just
We will move beyond that to another obscure subject, scissors. Why scissors? From our girl, Holly. I can't wait to see these lawyers scrapbooking at their shared desk. On that subject, this setup is kind of weird. Diane has certainly been successful enough to be able to afford a space where they have their own offices. True. But I'm going to do a little screen share so you can see the screen grab. See, this is what I miss about us. Well, I mean, I miss a lot of things about us.
Being in person. I know.
Yeah.
We have to get back on that.
We do. But our lives are kind of crazy right now. So this has been convenient. I'm like, I was just here. Here we go. There's the picture that Holly shared with us of the obnoxiously big scissors.
I love it.
I wish there was a glue stick there.
Oh, that's funny. Maybe they're doing arts and crafts.
Maybe. Hey, listen, they're both, well, Diane is a woman scorned and Alexis has some rage to be taken out. So maybe we need to get those scissors out of the office.
That would be my preferred method to hurt someone with. So.
Really?
Yes.
I would be so worried that they would bounce off because they're not that sharp. Some scissors absolutely can be, but I feel like, would you sharpen them first?
I was picturing more like kitchen ones that I usually already have sharp anyway.
Oh, like the meat scissors?
Yeah.
You already know that those can get, yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. I almost just closed us. All right. So this week we heard Lucky and Liz kind of talking about stuff. That's not really a good segue into what this upcoming week's 411 is about, but we are continuing Lucky and Liz.
Yeah, we're continuing Lucky and Liz when we could make that like smiley cute face. This week, Lucky and Liz, I was mad at him.
Oh, but you know what though? I kind of liked it just because it means that we are going to be digging deeper. They would not be doing this with him if they were not going to take it to the next step, I think.
True. I agree.
Because he has definitely been back in town enough times for the, I can't believe you're abandoning us again, blah, 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 blah. Bye. This time feels different.
I hope so.
Yes, me too. So I watched all 5 episodes today.
Oh my God.
Because I knew that we were going to be recording early because of my schedule. Well, in both of our schedules. Yeah, so it's a good thing that you had to delay. So for Hulu headlines on Monday, Robert mulls a matter of the heart. Drew checks in on Willow. Anna wants answers. Diane seeks out Alexis. And Kristina issues a plea. On Tuesday, Laura and Lucky receive news. Elizabeth encourages Jason. Trina makes a strong first impression. Holly makes a request of Anna. On Wednesday, Drew learns his electoral fate. Jason opens up to Spinelli. Maxie comforts Nina. Lois is suspicious and Natalia is remorseful. On Thursday, Jason loses his cool. Michael and Willow have a heart-to-heart. Alexis warns Kristina. Rick challenges Ava. Trina and TJ catch up. And then on Friday, Jason stonewalls Carly. Rick takes on a new client. Isaiah receives an offer. Elizabeth vents to Terry, and Anna confides in Felicia. I'm just going to reiterate once again, I don't like this coming into the middle of a storyline.
Right?
We didn't even see Drew win.
Nope.
I'm sorry, I still don't even feel like it was really an acceptance speech.
Right.
Like, it was weird. And then, like, the Kristina car accident, you took that away from us.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't get it. We want the whole soup, the whole soap. Or is it the soap, the whole soap, and nothing but the soap? You can't handle the soap. Sorry.
Oh my God. Are you sure you want to drink today?
I have not. So where do you want to get started?
Okay, so I don't know who said it. And so I need you, since you watched it this week, or since you watched it all today, to tell me, was it Maxie and Nina, or was it Joss and Trina? But they said like the cutest line talking about love and like men being jerks and whatever. I need you to speak Amanda here and like know what I'm saying. No?
I feel like I didn't. So although I did watch it all today, I also had a lot of other things going on.
Okay.
I actually wound up I didn't take my notes the way that I usually do, like about halfway through. Because I was like, oh shoot, I'm never going to finish this. And so then I switched to my computer and watched it at 1.5 speed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So I feel like I may have missed that. What was the...
It was like, so when I watched it, I told myself, like, I'm not going to forget this. And then I forgot it. And I tried to go back and find it like 15 minutes before we were going to record, and I could not find it. And so I don't know. It was just like, when I heard it, I was like, that's what this week's podcast should be called. And then I forgot it.
What was it about?
They were talking about like men, like relationships being crappy, but I can't remember exactly what they said. It was kind of like a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me kind of saying, but I can't remember what it was. That's okay. It'll come to me.
It was when Maxie was saying about how, because Nina was saying how he has his flaws and all, and she's like, he kissed his nephew's wife and then slept with her mom, like basically saying like that's
yes.
more than a flaw. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was the only thing that
all right. Well,
I remembered from it. You know
what I'm talking about, because whenever they said it, I was like, oh my God, that should be the name of the podcast, because it was so like spot on. Because she was saying the thing about it was Willow getting rid of Drew by him winning the election. It was like the nicest way to get rid of somebody, or the most polite way to end a relationship or something. I can't remember exactly what she said.
Well, I remember Drew came over to Willow or Maxie and Nina, and he said something about he'll be off doing better things or something like that in DC soon. And Maxie said, like, we can hardly wait, but it was definitely like no, she like wants you to leave, dude. And she definitely had the tone.
Yes.
It's just, okay.
Uh-huh.
They've made him into a predator. Like, are they aware of this?
No, I don't think they are. But it's
like, are you getting
awful.
that vibe?
Yes.
When Willow's like, I told you to stay away from me. He's like, but I just have to touch her arm, and we just have to make sure we're okay.
Right. Like I asked you to stay away from me, and you're back at my house again. And I'm like, you can't be here. And I needed to come in. I need to come and talk to you. I needed to make sure you're okay. And she even makes up the excuse. Michael's upstairs, and he's like, no, I know he's not, because I waited for him to leave.
Waited.
Yeah.
He watched and he waited for him to be gone. Like, that is disgusting, dude.
Right. Leave her alone. If she wanted to talk to you, I'm sure she has your number. She'll text you. You don't need to just show up at her face or at her house.
Here's the deal. You know what he could have done? Text her a picture of the earring.
Right.
Is this yours?
Or because again, her children
there
play
are so many women in that house
and
have access to the nursery.
Her children play in that playroom. It's not you. The only way to lose an earring is not by hooking up with someone. They can fall out for other reasons. So he could have just been like, hey, I'm going to set it in the trinket dish on the main foyer whenever you walk in. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to deliver it to you. And I don't think if someone else would have found it, that they would have assumed that it fell off because she was hooking up with someone.
Right. It'd have been, oh, you were going to be around the babies. You took your earrings out and put them in your pocket, and then they fell out of your pocket. Okay.
Exactly.
No, I hear you. Like, it was unnecessary.
Yep. Ridiculous.
This is just going to be another one of these weeks.
Yeah. But I did feel bad for Michael. I actually really felt bad for him. And like we've talked about before, cheating's not okay, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like he did the exact scenario that I say all the time would be a little more forgivable of like, you're really drunk, you're really upset. It's like one time you didn't mean, like you don't have feelings for this person. Because I know he cares about Sasha, but he's not in love with Sasha or whatever. It was a one time whatever. As compared to the person who is having an ongoing affair. And although she's only slept with Drew once, those feelings are there. It is an ongoing affair.
Almost. Okay. You can have an emotional affair. Like, and that is cheating.
Right.
Like that's infidelity. That is, not being faithful if you are actively, and it's not like she's really working on getting rid of those feelings and she's just struggling with it. She is constantly telling him about her feelings. Like, she needs to be going to a therapist or, at least her friends being like, seriously, I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. I keep thinking about him. It's one thing about that, versus,
exactly.
or even be honest with your husband and say,
right. Well, that's why I felt so bad for Michael, because he's like, I really think we both have a problem. I think we both need to figure out what's wrong with our marriage, so we can't be honest with each other. But I need to know if you really want this. And she again is like, oh, I do, and I regret that kiss every day. I regret that one kiss, and it's like, no, come on. Be honest with him. Tell him it was more than one kiss, and it was way more than one kiss the other day. And he's just sitting there like, please, I really need you to be honest with you, or honest with me. I really need you to tell me that you want to save this and like be honest. And she again is like, I really do, Michael. There's nothing I want more, but I'm still going to stick to my story that it was only one kiss.
You know what was the most disgusting? Okay, I don't even know if it was the most disgusting, but it was disgusting. Was, oh, you have a tell. You blush. And then Willow turns away from him and says, like, you can't be here. And he comes up behind her. So disgustingly creepy. And it's like, you're blushing.
Yes. Just go away, dude. Just go away.
And then she's like, I thought we had already talked about this. I thought we already squashed it. And he's like, it can't happen again, but I just need to make sure we're both okay.
Right. And he's like, I just keep fantasizing about what would have happened if you would have met me first. Why do you keep saying that? Like, you didn't, okay? You didn't meet her first. She's married to your nephew. Leave her alone. And she needs to stop. She needs to stop doing it. And like Nina totally setting her up. Oh no, Drew's hurt. You need to come up to the house. She didn't even say it was Drew. She said, someone's hurt. You need to come up to the house. And then she gets up there and like, of course you have to be all in his face to take care of him. And then she's like, I'm just so worried about you. Are you okay? Blah, blah. No. Okay.
Well, she says right with Lois and Nina and somebody else were in the room, like right behind them. Do you think he knows about us?
Be a whisper, but it was not a whisper.
It was not a whisper. That's not a whisper.
I think it was supposed to be a whisper. I think that was supposed to be a private conversation.
Like her legs were completely apart. Like, and she's wearing a skirt. Like, this is not helping your case.
Nope. And like,
cross
again,
legs.
Michael has to stand there and see her like, as Drew gets up, she's standing there like holding his face like, I just need you to be okay. But like, shut up. It's a bruised eye. I don't know why they were making such a big deal about it. Like, yes, Jason beat the crap out of him for good reason. We all should have known that Jason was going to stand up. But that was not an ER visit worthy. We did not need to call the cops or an ambulance and all that other crap they were talking about.
I thought that was probably like the best part of the week. But it was also the Michael going to the bar with Jason and talking to him and being completely honest about absolutely everything. Kind of weird he showed him the video, but but that he was able to just go to him and they don't really have to have like a big conversation. And Jason was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, are you guys having problems? Like, I didn't think so.
Right.
And then he tells him and he's like, so then I found out about the kiss. I walked into the room, heard stuff was happening. Willow and Nina obviously came running in and then Drew just decided to tell me. And he really is putting most of the blame on Drew. He's definitely not
it's hard
Willow
to blame your significant other. Yeah.
But like, he's not letting her get away with it, but it's,
right.
Especially where Drew felt the need to be the one to tell when he saw Willow running in. I think Michael picked up on that. And then, and he says to Jason, and I came right here and, I ran into Sasha. And Jason's like, oh, it's always nice to see a familiar face.
And she's like, no.
Michael's like, yeah, so we slept together. And Jason's like, okay, but that's, and like you said,
I'm not
like, it's not okay that he did it, but that was definitely not his intention of going there. It was not even his intention of talking to Sasha.
Exactly. Right. It's not like him and Sasha had been flirting for weeks, like leading up to this. And then finally they gave into it because he was mad at Willow. Like, it really was just, shouldn't have happened, but it did. I'm not saying that it's not cheating, but I feel like it's completely different than this ongoing affair that Willow has been having with Drew.
It was still cheating. Hers is an affair.
Right.
He cheated. She's having an affair.
Right. So yeah,
they're both still not good, but that's
right. But I think it's the first time in forever that I have like actually like liked Michael. And as he was pleading with her, I was like, oh my God, Michael, I feel so bad for you. Like, I remember being in your position. It's okay. Just tell me the truth. But then, like, okay, we're gonna call freaking oh my God, Rick over and be like, hey, Rick, I need you to be my attorney. And then Rick's like, oh, I need to know everything. I was literally yelling at my TV, do not tell Rick. Like, he does not need to know this. He didn't
even ask him to be as an attorney. He was asking for him to facilitate, what was the exact wording? Because he said, like, do you need an attorney? And he's like, no, I need you to broker a deal with Jason to stay quiet.
There you go.
This is when I got back to my bullet points. So I did take some notes.
It sounds like your notes are just as good as ever, but okay. But yeah, he's like, does that include attorney privilege, blah, blah, blah? And Rick's like, of course. And then he's like, I think you're holding something back. And so Drew's like, yeah, no one knows, but we slept together. If truly no one knows, then why did you need to tell Rick that?
Do you have attorney-client privilege without a retainer?
I did not believe so.
Do you have attorney?
I mean, I thought that was the whole point of like all the movies and shows, like the cute little kids being like, here's $1. Will you be my attorney?
Right.
Like, you have to pay something.
Right. Oh. Yes, you can have attorney-client privilege even without a signed retainer agreement. The key factor is whether you reasonably believe you are consulting with an attorney to seek legal advice, meaning the privilege can apply even during initial consultation where you have formally not hired the attorney yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess that also makes sense. And that's why, like in cases of divorce, where it's if you contact them first, even if you haven't paid them, if you've made contact with them, the other person can't use them.
You're right.
That makes sense.
Yep. Which is such a dirty trick. But yeah.
I don't even know why I know that one.
I was just going to ask you that. Like,
I feel like it's TV. I feel like I know that because of TV.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Now it's going to bother me which show.
Well, good job retaining that information. I'm proud of you for knowing
For some reason, I'm actually thinking it was Desperate Housewives.
Probably.
But anyway, yeah, it was just gross the whole way around.
Yep. I was mad. I was just mad.
I loved seeing Nina and Drew walk into the foyer and you just see Jason's leg. And then you see the bottom of his jacket. And then you see him take a step closer. And then you realize, and he just looks at Drew and he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, you know why. And Drew's just like, all right, no, I don't. And then Jason just punches him.
Oh my God.
Actually punches him back. And then they fight it out and everything.
But Nina was so obnoxious. Like, she's lucky she didn't wake up the kids. She just kept screaming, like, stop. Like, right? Oh my God. Would you please stop? There are two brothers. This is not the first time that adult men have had a fight. It's okay. Like, he's not stabbing him or shooting him. They're fighting. It's okay.
Right. Ugh. And then Ned breaks them up and Lois is there and Brooklyn was there too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ned later says to Michael, like, what the heck were you thinking telling Jason? And I actually do believe that Michael did not think Jason was going to do anything.
Right.
Because he didn't ask him to. And Jason didn't offer and Michael didn't ask him to. I think that he definitely felt like he was just talking to Jason.
Yeah. No, I don't think he thought he was going to do anything, but I thought it was awesome that Jason did do something. I just felt bad when Carly came in and is like, why would you do that? What happened? And it was like, I can't tell you because then you're going to hate your daughter-in-law. But at the same time, I was totally justified, I promise.
Exactly. And that's what Carly said to Drew when Drew almost spilled the beans himself, I think. And he's like, well, he told you. And she goes, all he said was that you deserve it. I didn't need any details. And then Drew does the whole, well, this is why we didn't work out because you always.
No, we didn't work out because you were scum and it took you,
apparently
5
he was probably just using her to get to his daughter or her daughter-in-law.
Right? Exactly. Ugh. So gross.
So gross. I did like that Carly called Jason out though on Danny and Scout were right upstairs. What the heck were you thinking?
Yep. I was happy. I mean, she was She was a good friend in the way of saying, like, it's the day before Sam's funeral. You could have gotten arrested. The kids didn't need to see that. Like, what are you thinking? But I think that should also prove to her that why he did it was a big enough deal that he would do it even the eve of Sam's funeral.
Right.
So,
I don't know. Oh, and then we saw Michael called Diane after he overheard or saw Willow caressing Drew's face.
yes.
Is that when he called her?
Yeah, he did. We kind of skipped ahead just because I was mad about everything. But yeah, that
No,
was
that's
like
okay.
Monday or Tuesday.
As
Whenever
long as we
Drew
fill in a little bit of how we get there, that's okay.
Monday, it was Monday or Tuesday that was the day that we saw Drew like push his way into Willow's house because he was waiting for Michael to leave. And then Michael
That's right.
came
That
back.
was when they were at the gatehouse. It was not after the fight. It was at the gatehouse. That's right.
Yep. And then Michael saw her like in that intimate moment with him. And that's whenever he called Diane. And then after he talked to Jason and like thought things through, that was whenever he went to her and like pleaded for, tell me the truth and maybe we can move past this.
Yep. That's right.
But how about Sasha at the hospital the beginning of the week? And they're like, do you want to do some x-rays? Is there any chance you're pregnant? And she was like, nope, no x-rays.
Can we stop hating Sasha?
I know. But I called it. I mean, I know we don't know that she's pregnant yet, but I called it that they're going to twist something with that.
Can we just really not do that though?
I understand, but it's just too perfect because now you got Brooklyn and Chase trying for the baby and like all the baby talk in the house. And you know, she's going to be the one that ends up pregnant.
I hate that you're going to be right.
I'm sorry. Because now we're going to have Brooklyn having a hard time getting pregnant. And Sasha, who did not want to be pregnant at this time, is going to be like, oops.
I mean, there's other storylines other than pregnancy.
Nope.
And difficult pregnancy. And baby swapping and who's the daddy?
No. Well, maybe if they have Brooklyn have a hard time getting pregnant, they can actually explore infertility correctly instead of just having someone say it's an IUI, but then it's IVF and then, oh, pregnant the first time. Move ahead. That'd be an interesting storyline to actually show the ins and outs of instead of magically having it happen.
That's not going to happen. And you know that.
And Molly was like suffering all of this pain from her endometriosis and all that stuff, which is why she couldn't get pregnant. And now suddenly we don't hear anything about it. She's just fine.
I like Alexis's osteoporosis, though. It only comes up every now and again. I think it's one of those things that, well, especially like when Molly was diagnosed, she even said, she's like, I didn't know any different. I thought this is what every woman experienced. So I didn't know that it was anything different.
Right.
Well, maybe I'm sure that there's probably some kind of like a medication or a treatment to help alleviate that pain for her, right?
I honestly don't know, but I would, again, think that that's something that someone would be checking in on her with.
That was her big thing, is that she was in so much pain.
Right. That was why she went to the doctor, was that they were going to start trying for a baby. And so she wanted the preliminary like checkup. But at the same time, when she went for that is when they started asking questions. And she was like, yeah, it sucks. But like, doesn't everyone's? And they were like, no, not like this.
Right.
But I did like that Molly has a type this week because Isaiah comes in and sits down. And I was like, oh, I'll take a cupcake.
No. When he was like, I hope you like chocolate. And I'm like, no, you did not just say that.
Yes. I may have said out loud, I definitely would like some chocolate.
You are telling me that TJ, who is striving so hard to keep their relationship together and to keep a connection and to
forgot her birthday,
maintain a relationship, he did not tell his wife happy birthday.
Right.
He did not do anything even slightly over the top for her this year. He's obviously hurt and everything, but I really don't think that he would be spiteful like that.
Right. And he's not only did he not do anything, but he's spending his limited free time from the hospital at the gym working out with Trina instead of dropping off flowers or something for his wife.
On his wife's birthday.
Yeah. Yep. Because that's what we've known TJ to be these 20 years they've been together.
We have seen him at the boxing ring, though, a lot.
Oh, definitely at the boxing ring, but he's never been insensitive. He's never forgotten anything important. No, even if they're having issues.
Right, that's what I'm saying is like he would, and especially where he does want this to work. And he was telling Trina about how they just feel like he feels like they're on separate pages. Like birthdays are kind of a good time to remind the person.
Yeah.
Especially when, she just lost her sister.
Right.
And your baby.
Yep.
She's got Kristina
stuff. Yeah. But Kristina remembered and bought her a matching necklace. That was cute, except for I would have preferred that it would have been the baby's initial, like admitting it was your baby. Like we're going to go with the name that you picked for the baby instead of the name I keep calling the baby.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know. I do think that eventually Molly's going to understand that.
I hope so. I hope that through this trial, Kristina shows a little more, not remorse, but like just care and concern for the fact that it was Molly's baby. Like, I hope when she gets on the stand and she's talking about how she feels, she really expresses like, I'm not just saying this as a mother, I'm saying this as like an aunt. Like my sister was so excited for this baby, blah, 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 and kind of breaks down that barrier that seems to be constantly up now where she's only referring to the baby as like her baby. Because when she was talking this week to Alexis, she was like, I'm never going to get to know the feeling of being a mother. And it's like, what? No, that was true.
Natalia. Well, no, because remember when she had the accident, like when she lost the baby.
Yeah.
Didn't they, I thought that she was now infertile.
Did they do a hysterectomy? I didn't think they had to.
I thought that they did.
Oh, see, I thought that they didn't. I thought that they said they might. And Molly was like, no, please don't let that happen. And that it didn't. I know they mentioned it, but I didn't think it happened.
No. Okay. She didn't.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought that they did. I thought that they said that they had to.
Okay. They did mention that they might. Yeah. They did mention that they might have to. And Molly was like, please do whatever you can to save that so that Kristina can have kids of her own someday. And so again, not saying that another baby someday replaces this baby at all, but this baby was not supposed to be Kristina's. This baby was Molly's, and it would be Kristina's niece. So for Kristina to keep going on about how she's never going to experience motherhood, like, yes, you still could experience motherhood, not again with that baby, but you weren't going to anyway, the way it was originally planned.
But think of how she's feeling right now, where she was talking about how, I think she was telling Natalia, like, I just lost my daughter. I just lost my sister. Like, what the heck is happening? Why was it Sam instead of me? She said that one to Alexis.
Mm-hmm.
But, she's probably thinking, like, no, I'm not going to have these things.
I'm sure that she's feeling those things, but that's what I'm saying. I hope on trial that she shows more concern about Molly too, so that they can start healing their bond. Because if she keeps walking around just yelling about how it's her baby and she's never going to get to be a mom because this accident cost her baby, like Molly's not going to be able to forgive her. Understandably, right. Like no. So I'm not saying that
but Molly needs to understand where the feeling is coming from, where she carried the baby, you know, and
they both need to be more compassionate towards each other, for sure.
Molly does need to do more of it, though, I think.
I think that Molly just needs to stop, like, crap talking Kristina. Because even whenever
That's what I'm saying, is like, what she's,
Even when she was talking to Isaiah and they were talking about the book, Little Women, she's like, oh, yeah, Kristina's the character that just gets whatever she wants and is, like, a spoiled brat. And I was like, that's not very nice to talk about your sister who was literally carrying your baby for you.
Right. That's what I meant, was that, because she is. Yeah. She's, when Kristina came over and had all that stuff for Sam and she attacked her about it.
Right, right.
That stuff is what she needs to.
Yeah, she's like nitpicking stuff to make fun of Kristina for, to put Kristina down for.
Right. That makes no sense. So Kristina was in a car accident. She accidentally was swerved into Natalia's lane after listening to, she told Sunny later that she was listening to a playlist that Sam had made her for coming out of the hospital to kind of help her, stay positive and be uplifted. And she was like in the middle of a song when she realized that that's what she was listening to. And so she broke down and swerved in the other lane. And thankfully everybody's okay. I did like that Natalia comforted her instead of being critical of her.
Right.
And she called Sunny, and that's when she said something about how Kristina said, please just don't tell my mom. And she's like, even if your mom's going through a lot, like mom still wants to know what's going on with their kid. And that's when she was like, I'm never going to know that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, not to go completely back on this, okay, they didn't do their hysterectomy, but they also don't know that she can get pregnant again. Like that could have been her only chance. So I could see her being like, what if that was it? And what if?
True.
But Natalia called Sunny. Sunny came and picked Kristina up and, talked to her and said basically the same thing that Natalia did with, so you're going to have to just tell your mom. I'm not going to. But I did like both of them were saying, I'm not going to be the one to tell her, but you really should.
Yeah. But she did.
And she went and talked to Alexis.
And I like that Alexis was trying to tell her, like, you don't know that you're going to get justice the way that you want to get justice. Like, this could not go your way. But I didn't like that she compared her to Sunny, because I feel like I feel like I would be the same way if someone caused me my baby, or if I felt like they caused me my baby. Yeah, I would want to punish them. I would want justice for them. And I would be using those words interchangeably in that moment because I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm upset, blah, blah, blah. And for someone to jump to, because Alexis pretends like Sunny's awful, even though he was just comforting her last week, for her to turn around and be like, oh, you're acting like this awful person when she's just experiencing normal emotions.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is that even if she was maybe doing something similar to Sunny, Kristina knowing that that is something that Alexis detests in him, your child is going to be hearing that you detest them, even though they're an adult, that's what they're going to hear. It's especially if they have grown up hearing how much mom hates dad about this, blah, 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 blah. And now, oh crap, I am doing the same thing. How long until my mom hates me? Because they've also not seen the Alexis and Sunny we saw last week where Sunny was comforting her. And I feel like they have had that a couple times, but I don't feel like it's ever really been around the kids.
Right. And they always play it in these weird ways that make it seem like it's going to turn into something romantic instead of him just being a nice guy and caring about the mother of his child.
Right. I did like how Alexis asked if it was an accident.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of one of my first thoughts.
Right. I liked Rick questioning Ava, except for whenever Ava had a real human reaction to it, and he was like, that right there, do the same thing on the stand. I was like, you're such a slime ball. No, her reaction to what you said was true and heartfelt. It wasn't an act. And yes, she may need to say something similar to that on the stand, but don't act like you're rehearsing, because she wasn't. She was just having a conversation.
But I think that's the thing, is that he was trying to talk her through, because he started right off the bat with, so did it feel like it did whenever you shot Connie? Well, how about whenever you did that to Morgan? And I think Ava's going at it with, they're going to bring up this stuff. I'm screwed. Right. This stuff is going to get brought up. No one's going to be able to see past it, all this. And I think that he was maybe showing her, you're going to be able to share your side.
You give Rick too much credit.
Okay.
I think he was just trying to push her
doing it.
She did say the right thing. I think that he knew that she was going to have a kind and compassionate and caring response to it. Right. But I think that he was still just trying to totally do it as we're rehearsing this, not because he actually cares about Ava or Kristina or anyone else.
Maybe.
I don't like him.
I know. I do, and I don't know why.
I don't like him. He reminds me of another attorney I dealt with this week. What else happened?
Do you belong here? Next to me, about to jump into the sea on an army coast steering expedition. What's your gut saying? Walk away from the edge? Or jump in and join a team that'll be by your side for life. Still listening? You belong here. Army, recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
Acast recommends.
Hello everyone, Pete here from the Football Ramble, the world's original football podcast. We're bringing our new series, Games Gone, to Amazon Music. Every month you can hear an exclusive bonus episode of the Football Ramble on Amazon Music, where we celebrate some of the biggest names, matches and moments from football history. Listen to monthly bonus episodes exclusively on Amazon Music and enjoy ad-free listening on Amazon Music for all episodes of Football Ramble with your Prime membership.
Acast powers the world's top podcasts, including
Off Menu, the Adam Buxton podcast.
and the show you're listening to right now.
Oh, I wasn't really sure like why anything had to happen with Lulu and Laura and Lucky. Like it didn't go anywhere.
Okay, I'm still convinced that we have not seen Lucky, or that we did see Lucky get told and he just didn't have a reaction, because this week he just showed up to the hospital and they glossed over Sam died.
Yeah, they did. I was thinking that Elizabeth told him at the bar, but no, they were arguing about the fact that he was leaving again, and she didn't tell him about Sam.
Well, and that happened after. So when they were meeting with Portia and she was talking about how... Okay, so Portia says that the surgery went well. She's recovering well. She's on this medication. Laura's like, but isn't that the same medication that hurt her to begin with? And she's like, yeah, but it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing right now. And then she says about how Lulu should be able to be put back into a long-term care facility in about 2 weeks, and that she heard that they weren't sending her back to the place from before.
Right.
And then Laura talks about how, yeah, they're going to go to Turning Wood instead, and it's all these things, and it's closer to Port Charles. Why didn't we look there first?
I don't know. I thought the same thing. I don't know.
So then, what else? They were talking about something in the hallway. What the heck were they talking about?
Laura was saying she didn't really even want to send her to Turning Wood. She wanted to keep her.
Yeah,
And
that's right. And they never elaborated on that at all.
Right. She just was like, I just want to keep her. And then we saw Laura go into Lulu's room and just be like, you have to wake up now. You have to do better. You have to be everything for everyone, because those kids lost their mom. And so you love your kids like Sam did, and you're amazing like Sam was. So you need to wake up and be all these things for everyone. And it's like, again, I understand talking to someone that you care about and being frustrated and whatever, but just the way that whole scene played out, I was like, if she wakes up right now just because her mom yelled at her, I'm going to be so mad. That
was the thing, is that she started off more of the, I like that she told her that Sam passed away, because there's studies, everyone knows that they can still hear you. So hopefully when Lulu wakes up and hears the news again, when Lulu wakes up, when she hears the news, it's not going to be as shocking. She's probably going to be like, why do I feel like I knew this?
Right. So they offered Isaiah a job at GH. Do we think that Isaiah did something to Sam? And why? Because it just keeps feeling like that, but I don't know why he would.
Right. I don't know. I really, I can't figure him out. I like him. He doesn't give me weird vibes. It was just really, really, really odd.
Yeah. Because he was so nice with Molly. And then whenever she was like, I'm upset because my sister just passed away and it was from a transplant. And then he was like, oh, you're Sam's sister, blah, blah, blah. And that seems like just a nice, normal guy who worked at the hospital and heard this story and felt bad for her. But then whenever he walked outside and Terry called him and he was like, I guess I can be right there. I'm not sure what this is about. He seemed so shady that I was like, what is going on?
I don't know.
I wanted you to have magic answers that I don't have.
Sorry.
I was like, what did I miss? He's so shady. And then he asked Lucky if he wanted to go back to Africa with him. And Lucky's like, I'm still deciding. And then I was all mad.
Well, and where was that in? So that would have been after he had already told So after Lucky was done Liz was just like hanging out with the brown dog, but she only has one glass of wine. Good girl. Especially whenever you're going to be seeing Jason and Lucky back to back. Gotta keep your wits
I need
about
a bottle.
But she was checking up on Jason and encouraged him to, what did she say? They were talking about the kids and.
Right. She was like, don't let anyone make you give your son up. Like you need to stay being part of his life.
Right. And they both agreed that Sam would want the kids to stay together, like including Rocco. And
yes,
that's where Liz was basically agreeing. And she's like, but that doesn't mean that you can't be his dad.
Right.
And then we saw him have a beautiful scene with Danny. And he's like, you do not have to make any decisions right now, but I'm just wondering where you're thinking. And he's like, well, I can't leave Scout and I don't want to leave Rocco. He's like a brother to me. And Jason said, I agree, and we, the adults, are going to talk to each other and do right by the three of you. It's not going to be, well, because Rocco or Danny even told him that Rocco overheard Grandma Alexis talking about how she wants Danny and Scout to be with her. And he's like, I don't know. We feel really comfortable here at the Quartermaines, even though we used to come here and then Mom would come pick us up. And Jason was like, yeah, but she used to take you home. And Danny's like, I don't know if that is home without Mom anymore. But it just really seems like he wants to definitely stay. He's like, I cannot leave Scout. And Jason's like, you are an amazing big brother. I'm not going to make you leave your sister,
Right.
And he tells him that even if he winds up not being able to live with him, that he's not going anywhere. He's still going to have him. So then after Jason leaves the brown dog, Lucky shows up and in 5 seconds tells Liz, by the way, I'm considering going back to Africa. She immediately starts to pack up her stuff and she's like, okay, bye.
I did. I love that. He's like, Liz, what's wrong? And she's like, no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is okay. I'm not playing this role. Like, nope.
Yep. She said, because this is when I was still taking notes, that, well, I obviously took notes on them anyway. He offered to buy her a long overdue drink. She said that she had had her one for the night, but she'll accept a conversation. They start talking about like Lulu's recovery, and he wishes that Lulu's life didn't cost Sam hers. And they kind of talked like a little bit about that. And then he had said something about how he was hoping to swoop in and save the day and everything, which I don't like how they had that phrased, because Lucky is not, that has never, ever, ever been his motive, is for him to be the hero, and we're seeing this right now in our 411 series of him helping Liz through recovery from her rape and, trying to find, it has nothing to do with him.
Right.
And, we've seen it. I mean, unless I'm forgetting something, I don't remember Lucky ever being Mr. Knight in shining armor,
Yep.
But he was hoping to save the day, but the real hero was here all along. And then he says that he just can't stay in Port Charles. And she was like, okay, if you can't stay here, then go back to Africa. Have fun, safe travels,
Yep.
And he's like, well, I didn't mean to upset you. And she's like, did you think I was going to be happy? You're taking off again. You're abandoning everybody. And he's like, well, I am thinking of Aiden. And she's like, how? How are you thinking of Aiden right now? You finally get a chance to be his dad. The kid worships you. Anytime you give him a compliment, he just completely lights up. Do you really think that Sam would not give everything to spend one more hour with her kids, or that those kids would not do anything they possibly could to just see their mom again? And you're choosing to leave yours again.
Yep.
I get that so much, because this is something that, I've dealt with a lot of hard loss that, I'm not wishing on anyone, but I feel like that gives me that perspective, because JD and he does not understand why I get like so super depressed. I get sad anyway, but like friends of ours got married a little over a year after us, and then she like passed away 6 years later. Like she was sick and everything, and it hurt so much. And it was his friend's wife.
Yeah.
I became friends with her, it's long story. I actually knew her from high school, but not like knew her. It's just, we were in high school together. She was a grade above me, but I'm like, it's just such crap. I'm like, because they had just had 3 kids. She had been divorced out of a horrible marriage. Like, she marries my husband's friend, who's great. And then this happens, and it's like, you just can't make sense out of it. Or, my friend that was the Uber driver who I hadn't seen in years that I used to work with, and she's just murdered, and like all this stuff. And I'm just like, you don't know when it could seriously happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know. I know it's cliche to say like live life to its fullest, and try not to waste a day, but it's like when I feel like things are completely unresolved,
yeah,
I'm like, you are wasting time.
Right.
Like, even if you're not in agreement, fine. But if you're just like standing still,
Yep.
Not a fan. Sorry. That was like, I
No.
understood every single thing that Liz was saying today, or like in that conversation. I'm just like, yep. I'm like, I need to play this. I'm going to.
Right. Let's record it.
Like, see, it's not just me.
Yep.
But Liz went through tragedy at a very young age. She was abandoned by her parents. She was, lost her innocence way too early. So,
Mm-hmm.
You realize when you learn the ugliness of the world way too early, like when you're barely over 2 digits old,
Right.
you kind of grow up with a different viewpoint of the world.
Yep. And you would think that Lucky would know that, because I mean his childhood was not perfect either. So come on.
But I think that it was different because even though like Laura apologized to him not too long ago about how much they had to hop around and everything, but he was still in contact with his parents. He knew that he had that relationship with his parents. Like, yeah, he came to Port Charles by himself. He was here by himself for 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Before they came here. He was never without one of his parents.
Right.
But the thing is, he felt the disconnect when Laura was away, when Luke was away. So why wouldn't he understand that Aiden would have that also?
Exactly.
Or is it because he thinks because he left when Aiden was a baby? But
And that would be one thing if he would have stayed out of Aiden's life completely, including now. But you've dropped in here or there, like, yeah, Aiden has a relationship with you. He wants to know that you care about him more than you care about jet setting around the world.
Aiden spent a summer with him in Ireland.
Right.
Remember? The first time we aged him up?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. My favorite, though, was when she left and she was like, God forbid you choose that boy over your next adventure. And she just gets up and leaves. And he is saying, my favorite part was, sorry.
Go ahead.
He didn't say a thing.
Nope.
After he realized he was being stupid, he just sat there and listened to her and absorbed what she was saying and was fighting back tears as she left. Because he thought about what she said.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we know Lucky's a character on TV.
Yeah. I don't have any parent issues. Speaking of parenting issues, though, have never hated Felicia more in my life.
Felicia, why? What did she do this week?
Her shaming Sasha? No.
I know.
No.
Like, your mom is one of the greatest people that I know. And Sasha's like, my mom is one of the greatest con artists in the world. What are you talking about?
I wanted so badly to just fast forward through all of it. And I just knew that I couldn't because I'm like, no, I know I'm going to have to actually talk about this. So Sasha, this is when Sasha was in the doctor's office and Felicia just comes in and was like, so why are you here? And she's like, oh, hurt my shoulder in an explosion because my mom made some decisions that had me kidnapped and I almost died. And Felicia's like, well, I'm not surprised.
She was more like,
I know that you don't have a great relationship with her, and I've had a front row seat to a lot of the problems, but, she really is a great lady.
Right. It was like she was
and there's a long list of people that she's hurt. It's not like Sasha's the only one that she's inadvertently hurt. It's not like this whole Holly saying, I don't know how to be a parent, whatever. No.
Yep. You could just hear Felicia. She was like, oh, that Holly.
Right.
That was supposed to sum it all up. Like, what? And then, I don't know if she's quite that bad, but she is awful. I mean, she's awful. And then she goes to Anna and is like, oh no, I'm in trouble again. I guess I'm gonna have to leave because Brennan won't offer me any help other than to send me out of town. And then Anna's like, why would you leave town? Like, you have people here to help you, the same people that just helped so that your daughter didn't blow up. why would you leave? And she's like, no, I just caused too many problems. I'm just going to get on that plane. But first I have to go ruin Robert's relationship and leave him. And then I have to disappoint Sasha and leave her. And like, why?
This is not going to disappoint Sasha. Like, it's,
yeah.
Oh, she even told Felicia, she's like, that's great that you got to watch all of it. I was a starring role because she, was a horrible mother to me.
Yes, exactly.
And
that
she was
was
just
the end of the week
of everything. And then
that was her the end of the week with Anna, because Anna was like, I'm upset that Robert went after her because he's not going to have a relaxing holiday. He's going to be trying to clean up Holly's mess, and then he's going to end up heartbroken again. And she's like, maybe things will work out now because they have a baby together. And Anna's like, they had a baby 30 some years ago. He just didn't know about it. Why would that make it work now?
The biggest problem. Okay. I had multiple problems with this. But Felicia blamed Sasha for her not having a relationship with Holly.
Right.
She said that her feelings. No.
Nope.
If you would not encourage, I believe that I have said this before on here. It's not. Here we go. And if I did, here we go again. If you would not encourage your friend to have a friendship with someone like that, you do not encourage them to have a relationship with anybody like that.
Right.
Blood or not, who they're supposed to be in your life or not. No.
Nope.
Just because she gave birth to you does not mean you deserve or owe her anything. If she abandoned you and has neglected the heck out of you your entire life, and obviously used her too, maybe she almost had you killed.
Right.
You have a right to take some time.
Right.
But then she's like, and you're not going to want to look back with regret. How about you go have this conversation with Holly?
Mm-hmm.
Not with the one who was the victim. Go have it with the person who is the reason that this whole thing is even an issue.
Would you have this conversation with Maxie, or would you have had it with Georgie about how it was their fault that you didn't have a relationship with them and that you were a sucky mom? No.
And that's the thing. She even basically said this. She was like, I was out of the girls' lives forever, and Maxie was gracious enough to give me a second chance. Okay, we always get on Felicia about not being there.
Right.
She was not in the same way, though.
No. And she didn't pull her girls into the con the way that Holly did.
Felicia wasn't a con artist. She was just a little adventure seeker and going after Frisco.
Right.
She just ditched her kids for a man, which is still not as good, but she didn't use them.
Right.
And if in some small way, she was trying to probably get their dad back.
Yeah.
So that's kind of complicated. I still don't think it's okay that she ditched her kids, but they wouldn't have the relationship with Mac that they do. But she's never going to get that chance again with Georgie. Okay, well, guess whose fault that is? That is mom's fault, not the child's.
Right. Exactly. I just hate Holly. I hate Holly all the time, but I hate her again this week. And I hate all the excuses that everyone makes for her. And it's just like, please stop. Please stop. And then poor Diane.
Oh, we did stop.
Yeah. She went away, and then we lost Robert to her because.
Okay.
But I
we
felt
still
bad
need
for
to kind of get there, though. You were starting to talk about Diane, and then you said Robert.
Yeah. So Diane knew what was up, and then Robert comes into the office and is like, hey, I need to talk to you. I really care about you. He even said he loved her, and she was like, okay, but I'm so proud of her. I was like, you go. I deserve someone to look at me the way that you look at Holly. And since you can't do that, I'm not interested. Thanks anyway. And she said it nicer. She's like, I hope that you're happy.
I was going to say, she said it like you are trying. You're just not succeeding.
Yes. But I liked that she did put herself in there to be like, I deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
Because she does. But then she was all sad, and I felt bad for her. Like, poor Diane. Don't be sad.
Well, then she called Anna, and they had a drink, and she's like, what the heck is it that Robert has a hold over everyone for? And she's like, do you ever get over him? And Anna makes a smart remark about, he's my side for my whole life. And then she realizes, oh, shoot, this wasn't just a little tick, they didn't just have a little, and she's like, okay, upset. So what did Holly do?
Yep. What did Holly do? So.
Oh, and Holly had gone and written Robert a note
Yes.
And kissed it.
I really don't like her.
We just went like 7 different directions.
That's typical of us, though. She wrote the note and then she left. And one of the last things that Diane said to her, said to Robert, was, don't let her go this time without telling her how you feel. And just don't let her go this time. If you're so in love with her, make it be whatever. So then Robert shows up. Robert calls Holly and is like, blah, blah, blah. Aren't you going to miss me? And she's like, yes, I'd do anything to see you. And he's like, well, then turn around. And so then she turns around and they're all, woohoo, they're going off together. Ugh, no thank you.
So I did look, not necessarily Robert gone for good, because I was like, was that seriously just the send-off for Robert Scorpio?
Oh my gosh, that would be ridiculous. No.
But it's not. But it felt like it. I mean, so they had him go, it was kind of Casablanca-ish. But didn't we just do this before with them? Like, didn't we have a scene outside of the plane, like the last time that they were here? He didn't decide to go with her.
Right.
But then the screen went to black, and that's why I was like, did Robert just leave? Because the screen went to black and white and they walked off in the fog. Well, guess who else walked off in the fog? Luke.
Yeah.
He just walked out of Port Charles. But no, there is no way that was it for Robert Scorpio.
No, I think there would definitely have to be more conversation between him and Anna first. And I feel like even though he could obviously call Robin from somewhere else, that we would get to see that call to Robin if this was supposed to be for good. And they even said, like, he's taking a holiday or whatever. So I'm assuming he
said that it's a round trip ticket.
Yes. So I don't know. I don't think he's gone for good, but I will not be sad if he comes back. Not with Holly.
If this means that we don't have to deal with Sasha, you should just be nice to your mom, even though she's been horrible to you for 30 years.
Right.
It's your fault. No, it's not.
Mm-mm. Nope.
There was something else there too. I can't remember what it was. I did like Diane and Alexis this week though.
Yeah.
When they were just trying to be each other's distractions.
Right. Discussing
nice.
Court cases. Yep. That was very nice.
I feel like that's the kind of friend I am. It's like, if you want to sit here and talk about it, we'll totally do it. If you just want to be distracted, I got you.
Yep.
Like, you just want to talk about work? Let's do it.
Yep.
You just want to sit and talk here about anything else? Okay. Talk about anything else? We can do that. Want to talk about whales? Sure.
You sure you weren't drinking today?
No, I had a glass of wine and a gin and tonic yesterday.
Maybe it's still in your body, because who are you talking about whales to?
I don't
know. So we finally met Trina's no-show art class partner. It took me a minute, like when she realized who he was, and she was like, I know that name. I did not remember that's who they had said last week. And so I'm like, how does she know that name? Who is that? I don't know who that is. And then
did they say his name last week?
Yes, because remember she was talking when she was venting to Portia. I don't know if that was last week or the week before. But when she was venting to Portia about her partner not showing up, they did say his name.
Oh.
But I had to laugh because Joss is like, do you know who that is? He's the QB, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi? What? And I was like, yes, that would have totally been. I could picture you and I having that conversation where you start talking sports and me being like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. So we finally met him.
I like that she just kept referring to him as Obi-Wan too.
Yes.
Like, she was like, nope, not even going to learn his name. Sorry.
Nope. I'm over him now. He cost me my GPA. But then he called his advisor people and were like, hey, I need to know what's going on with this class because I can't let this girl's GPA go down. And then they saw each other later in the gym and he was like, I'm going to fix it. And she's like, don't bother. Just stay away from me. I asked for somebody else. Like, I'm over you. I'm not impressed with your sportsman standing. And I was like, good job, Trina, because that's how I would have been too.
I'm like, she is not wrong because that's not cool.
Right.
Is that like actually how that works with athletes? Like they get a tutor that basically goes and does their classes for them?
I don't know if they do their classes for them, but I mean, I have heard of them like passing no matter what. And like the tutors doing like the homework and stuff for them. But I don't know about actually attending class, or not, in this case, attending class and still passing.
Right. That's just absolute crap.
I mean, it's crap for them too, because what if you don't make it to the
Right.
NFL or whatever? Now you went to college, but you have no education and you don't have your sports career. Or what if you like rip something or whatever?
Right.
Like you're just done.
Well, but that's the thing, is that you can always go back and relearn everything. Because he
Okay.
even said, like, he's not doing anything with what he's not bothering learning anything, because like he just needs that class to pass. It's not even like
Yes.
something he really needs to
Yes.
know.
I mean,
So,
it
like, if
made
he's
sense.
just doing like general like liberal whatever arts, general ed or whatever,
I guess that,
he'd
I
be
guess
able to
that
just
wouldn't
roll those
matter.
over into whatever he wants.
Yeah.
No, but I like Trina holding her own on that one.
Yes.
Ooh, real quick about Robert and all that stuff. When Mac went to talk to him, and Robert's like, "Oh, you talking to me as a brother or as the detective?"
Yeah.
Like, both. But back to the Felicia Holly comparison, which is not a comparison,
No.
because Robert made it one. He's like, "Well, what made you forgive Felicia all those times?" Well, first of all, she wasn't out committing a bunch of crimes.
Right. Right.
Right? Like, Felicia was not out committing a bunch of crimes. She was
No.
torn between the father of her children and the love of her life,
Yes.
who she also thought was her father of her children.
Yes.
But then she fell in love with Mac. And she was
Yes.
torn between those two guys, not one guy and myself doing everything else that I want to do in my life.
Right.
She's a yo-yo.
Mm-hmm. And Mac and Felicia like figured things out as adults, with Felicia being honest and Mac being honest. Like, Holly was still lying to you and only told you the truth because she absolutely had to, because your nephew was dating your daughter.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, Holly is definitely way too old to be pulling this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what else? Oh, Anna talked to Jason privately about, so how long have you known about the diamonds? And when were you going to tell me all this? And Jason's kind of evasive. And
Yeah.
she's like, I didn't know that our friendship was going to have so many secrets. He's like, I don't expect you to tell me anything about the PCPD. And she's like, I can't. He's like, yeah, so why are you making me?
Right.
Ooh,
Their
I
friendship's
like
so
that.
it's very weird. I don't know where they're going with this. Like, we're not putting Anna and Jason together. And she needs
No.
to quit acting like the jealous girlfriend because they had one kiss. Like, stop.
And then she asked for help finding Valentine. And so Jason went to Brennan thinking that Anna had not already gone to Brennan.
Right. Because that wouldn't be the first place that you start. And then Brennan's like, don't you dare find Cassadine, or it will be bad news for her.
Like, I'm pretty sure a former WSB agent is going to go to the WSB to locate another former WSB agent.
Right.
But thanks, Jason.
Exactly.
Oh, what else? What else? Oh, Lois was all frustrated because she could sense something was off in the house and no one was telling her. And Brooklyn and Ned told her it's because she cannot keep her mouth shut.
Yes. And there was
And then she finds out that Drew kissed Willow.
right. And she's like, oh, I won't tell anyone. But it still really wasn't that big of a secret. Like, why was everyone acting like that?
Right.
And Sasha found out because of the book mix-up that Brooklyn and Chase are trying for a baby. So she was cute about that. But that's what I'm saying. She's totally going to end up being the one that ends up pregnant.
No.
I think that was it.
Oh, Lucky went to talk to Sunny.
Oh, yes. They had their little boxing, and Sunny was like, if you plan on sticking around, I can always use a sparring partner.
Or he's like, I can always hook you up too. And Lucky's like, it would have to be legit. And he's like, do you think your mom would not have my head?
That was very
I like
cute.
how it had nothing to do with Luke. It was like, dude, your mom would kill me if I did not get you a legit job.
Right. Did you not know that I'm scared of your mom? What the heck? And then Sunny did make a call, but I don't know who he called to like set up a position for him.
Well, because Lucky said that he didn't want to go back to the
police force. Yeah.
And Liz vented to Terry about how she thought that Lucky would stay this time and that they could make it as a family.
No, Liz, don't get caught up in the fantasy until he shows you that he is worthy of it.
Correct. We just know that he can be, and this is what's wrong with us.
Right.
Man, we've learned nothing in the past 30 years.
Nope. No, we haven't.
I think that might have been it.
All right.
Reality check.
Well, and how was your week?
A little crazy. I don't know. It's just been like a weird week. The first Ronald McDonald House day is tomorrow. So I actually don't even know if I talked about this. So I'm the director of charitable giving for one of my networking groups that's like in multiple states. And the past few years, we've put together care bags for the Ronald McDonald House, and that's been fun. Like we get together, put together the bags, and then a couple of us go and deliver them. Well, the first time we did it was in 2019, and it was before I was the director. I think that it was like the trial run, and then it was the next year's when I was offered the role, and I was in the middle of organizing events for Habitat for Humanity when COVID happened. So like our real in-person. So up until this year, the Ronald McDonald houses have been very, and rightfully so. I mean, they're working with sick families or kiddos and their families. They haven't really reopened their guest chef meal prep. Each one calls it something different, where we can actually go in and prepare the meals on site as a team, as a group, and, serve them and everything. And this year was the first year that I think it was like the past 2 years. It was like, groups of 2 or 3 people. And that didn't make sense.
You can't make a whole meal with 2 or 3 people unless you're going to be there for 10 hours.
Well, you only get like an hour and a half, and you can, but it's not the same experience if you're doing it with 10.
Right.
So this year, all of the houses in Denver, Pittsburgh, Oklahoma City, Fort Worth, Texas, Rhode Island. So I had to organize, there's 3 events in Pittsburgh, 2 events in Denver, 4 in Rhode Island, 3 in Fort Worth, and 3 in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you were a little bit.
Well, I've been doing this past couple weeks too. Like towards the end of my closing 9 deals in 6 weeks is when I started working on organizing all these events and getting together the meals. And the thing is, like, you're cooking for like 40 to 50 people. Yeah. So it's big meals. So like at one, we're doing baked ziti and chicken Alfredo, pasta bake and salad and brownies and all that stuff. So, but there's like 3 different meals. And then one of the locations is only doing brunch. So it's like I've had to put together like 5 different meals, divide out the shopping lists, assign them to people. I mean, and it's stuff that I love doing. And it's just, it stinks because it's like the first year that you do it. I mean, next year I'll have everything already done.
Right.
But yeah, so like tomorrow's our first one, and then mine's on Wednesday. In the next week, I think we have like 8 of them. So it's like the most of them are in the next week. So it's like wrapping all that up. Had a meeting at my daughter's school about all the issues I've been having with one of the outside resources, because I really thought about it and I was like, okay, this resource is also impacting some of the stuff at the school. And even though we're almost done, like this, there's no way that there's going to be other parents that aren't having this. And without finding out too much, I did find out that we are not by ourselves.
Yeah.
In some of the complaints, and discover that they had only been told a quarter of the things.
Of course.
Yeah. So that was fun. So I let them know what was happening.
Good.
That was fun. And then last night, JD, Erica, and I went to see Jay Leno.
That's awesome.
And that was fun. That was just, it's nice because he does not get into controversial things. It was just nice to have a nice night of a little over an hour of laughing.
Yeah.
So that was good. How about you?
I was stressing all week because Thursday was the child support hearing because we had done the mediation and we couldn't agree on what the amount should be because my ex's attorney is all about hiding assets, and I refused to take a lowball amount, and I didn't get what I wanted because I did the math and figured out that in order to get what I wanted, I would have had to hire a really good attorney to do some deep digging, and it would have pretty much cost me in attorney fees what I would have made in the difference in the child support. So I went myself and represented myself, and my ex didn't even show up. It was just his attorney who talks down to me like I'm an idiot. And so I was like super proud of myself for just going and being like, no, I'm sorry, Your Honor, blah, blah, blah. Like he presented, so my ex owns his own business and then he does security on the side. And so at one point the attorney was like, well, he owns his own business that he does security for this person for, but the business doesn't make any money. And the judge was like, oh, well, if he's doing security for this person, he's obviously getting paid. He's not like working for free, is he? So you have a business and it is making money. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Right. So I felt like, the judge's hands were tied because they can only assess support on income that you can prove. And I couldn't prove any other income because I hadn't done the deep dive because I couldn't do that myself. But I felt like I was heard and like she could see that there was sketchy stuff going on. And so she did all that she could with the facts that were presented. So, it's one of those, how it is after you've been in a relationship where someone controls you and just like messes with your head that you feel like you can't be a competent person. The little wins of here, I showed up and I was competent, and the people who were acting like I was stupid can kiss my butt because I'm not. And so I walked out of there feeling accomplished. Sad that I didn't get what I wanted, but accomplished that I went ahead and did what I needed to do. So
good.
That was that. And it's over now.
I give you credit for doing that on your own. We had originally said we weren't getting attorneys, and then sure enough, he showed up with one. Because, I didn't, because we said we weren't doing attorneys. And then his parents got him one. Oh. And I just sat there and I was like, I was so young. I had no clue. Like I had done nothing, it was like, I wasn't doing, no, that's a lie. I had done some stuff because the reason we were there is because I had done the calculations and, said like, this is what, if we went to court, this is what your child support would be. And after a couple of months, he decided to stop paying. And so I made sure that, I went and filed, and I'm not even going to get into all that other fun stuff that happened in between. But it turns out I did the calculations wrong and he owed more.
Oh, nice.
So even with the attorney, and that's when he was trying to get the one extra day a week. So that he could,
Yep.
Yeah.
We have not addressed.
And when he said that, the judge was like, no, you're not getting the kids an extra day a week just so you don't have to pay child support.
Right. Luckily, again, because my ex did not show up, he did not get to make any stupid comments like that. And he has not threatened that for a few weeks. So knock on wood that we're like over the threats. But it was just like on principle. I kept saying to like all of my family, if in the original mediation, his attorney hadn't spoken to me like I was an idiot, I probably would have just taken the amount that was offered because it was only like a $20 difference. It wasn't anything crazy. But because you want to talk to me like I'm stupid, no, we're going to go to court and I'm going to prove that I'm not stupid. And so it did indeed only change from what they originally set it at mediation to now like around $20. But I don't care. It's the point. It's not about the $20. It's the point. I'm not stupid. Don't speak to me like I am. And so his attorney walked out like in front of me whenever it was over, and it took everything in me not to be like, you're such a jerk. Like all the things I want to yell at Rick, I wanted to yell at this guy because they all applied to him. I know attorneys are supposed to be scumbags, but you are the epitome of scum.
It's a shame.
So, and you're not even good at it because you didn't fight what you needed to fight to save him this $20. So shut up.
Well, and how does he show up without the documentation? Like,
right. They asked him for the tax return and he was like, yeah, I don't have it. Well, okay, so I can't prove that you do make this income because I haven't like been able to dive deep into someone else's personal finances because I'm not an attorney. But how do you get to say no, there's no other money and not have to present a tax return?
Right.
But again, attorneys are expensive, and I did not think that it was going to come out, that it would have made sense in the end. So I just stuck with it. But I wish if I win the lottery, that's going to be the first thing I do. We're going back to court with some high-powered attorney, just to every nickel and dime. Again, not about the dollars, because all that matters is that Madeline is happy. But the principle of don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
It's just not good.
Yep. I need a Diane in my life.
My eye thought was, but if you win the lottery, they can go after that.
That's
so
true.
How about you don't do that? It wasn't, I realized, I was like, she probably saw that look I just did. And I'm like, no, you're not going to want to do that one.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Unless you only hit the lottery for like $2,500.
Right.
Which then you can just pay the retainer.
Yes. But still
and then you have attorney-client privilege.
It still probably wouldn't be worth it. So
true.
But anyway, it's a
but if you only spent
victory.
$10 on the ticket to win the $2,500, then you've really only spent $10 on the attorney.
True. There you go. Nice girl math.
It's not girl math. That's just math.
But anyway, yep, that's my week. So now we're moving on to, it's almost the holiday season. Next weekend is our trip for cheer. The following weekend is Thanksgiving and her birthday. And so just letting all the bad stuff go and moving into the fun stuff.
Yep.
It is what it is.
So join us on Thursday as we continue talking about Lucky and Lulu, or Lucky and Liz.
Lucky and Liz. Let's live in that fantasy for a little bit longer. I like that.
Okay. So. Well, I was getting upset when they were talking about him leaving. I'm like, there's no way that our 411 is going to be longer than his comeback.
Oh, right. Exactly. Oh my God.
Like, we're not going to be done with this for a year.
Exactly. Lucky you have to stay at least till we're done.
Yes.
So yeah, have a good week.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
You belong here. Next to me, about to jump into the sea on an army coast steering expedition. What's your gut saying? Walk away from the edge? Or jump in and join a team that'll be by your side for life? Still listening? You belong here. Army, recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Acast recommends.
Hello everyone, Pete here from the Football Ramble, the world's original football podcast. We're bringing our new series, Games Gone, to Amazon Music. Every month you can hear an exclusive bonus episode of the Football Ramble on Amazon Music, where we celebrate some of the biggest names, matches and moments from football history. Listen to monthly bonus episodes exclusively on Amazon Music and enjoy ad-free listening on Amazon Music for all episodes of Football Ramble with your Prime membership.
Acast powers the world's top podcasts, including
Off Menu, the Adam Buxton podcast,
and the show you're listening to right now.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.